Black Goose TV family, what's good with it? Happy Sunday night. You already know we had to come. We gotta give you a little content. You know what I'm saying? We had to
Yes,
come, you know what I'm
sir.
saying? Show y'all some love, man. I got Zen in the building. Zen, what's happening with it? How you feeling, brother?
What's the deal, man? You feel me? Peace and positivity.
All
Y'all
day,
ain't
every
like,
day.
y'all ain't like, man. Go ahead, like, subscribe, join the family, notifications, so you can always see when we coming on live in this joint. You know what I'm
Every
saying?
single time. Show some love, man. So we up in this thing, you know what I'm saying? Late night. Maybe not late night, you know what I'm saying, on the West Coast side of things, but on my side of things, a little bit on the later side of the game. It is Sunday night, but we up in here, watch party. You know what I'm saying? We watching Phoenix Suns Pelicans. Excuse me. I don't know how much me personally I'm gonna be watching it. Zen got his eyes on the game a little bit more than me. He's gonna let me know if I need to tune in or not. But we got that. You already see we got a couple topics we're gonna talk about below. We're gonna talk about the Brooklyn Nets. Also, we got to talk about a little bit about Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou, and then we're gonna add in other things. Got a lot of basketball talk tonight, so if y'all hop up in here, man, be ready. We're gonna be all in on the basketball side of the game, a little bit of boxing, and then on the watch party side of the game too. So like Zen said, I'm just gonna echo that, mimic it. Like button, like button, like button. Subscribe to the channel. Drop your comments below as always. You know what I'm saying? Engage with us. Show some love. And then also check out the community board. I'm going to be dropping some new questions for y'all tonight. So you guys can check out the community board to go ahead and answer those. And I'm going to do some new questions tomorrow as well for you guys to engage in as well. So salute to the people we here. And if you know what I'm saying, join us. Have some fun with us. You already know what it is. But with that being said, Zen, I know you had some opinions or some beef to take up with Brooklyn Nets. I don't know if you want to hop into it that quick.
Or did you want to do our days, or you
Or I
want
was
to
going to
just?
say that. Do you want to go in normal fashion, do the days? We could do that in, normal Zen Fluence fashion. So if you guys do come up in here later too, let us know what your day is like, rated 1 to 5. Go ahead, Zen.
Let me get some water real quick.
How your Sunday end up going, man? Remember, hydration is innovation.
Yeah,
So
man. I gotta
always make
try to
sure
get y'all a
you get that
gallon a
up in.
day, man. If not the
You know what I'm
whole
saying?
gallon, at least 33/4 of the gallon. But anyway, my day, it was good just because I'm still alive and I'm breathing. You know what I'm saying?
Hallelujah.
But it was very just dissatisfying just because I had two basketball games today. They were both in the playoffs and we lost both of them. I didn't shoot particularly well. Um, I mean, I made shots though, around the rim, and layups, stuff like that. But my three ball just was so broke. It was kind of just like laughable, like, ha, this guy, you know. So, but and I don't want to be getting up on here and exposing nobody, but you feel me? Just it just shows me, man, one person can really just kill the momentum of a team, man. And I didn't realize how critical that is. You know what I'm saying? When you're younger, it could kind of be masked because you got a coach and then you got, better players. So if somebody is doing certain things, the coach can see that. Most of them can, or at least half of them can, and they be like, okay, I got to sub him out. The energy's not right. Because I'm like, when people get to complaining and they stop playing basketball and you got dudes in their head and wolfing at them, like some people can't, how I say this, can't be talked to a certain way and still perform, like you could talk to like a Kobe or a Jordan or maybe like a Gary Payton, some of them, or KG, some of these dudes that thrived off, trash talk, and then they could take their game to another level. You know what I mean? Like even LeBron, people probably think LeBron probably can't hear certain things. Like LeBron hears something, I'm pretty sure he turned that joint on. You know what I mean? So it's like some people can't play like that. You know what I'm saying? Some people, when they get mad, they just get taken out of the game. And I feel like one of the players on our team just was doing that. Like he getting fouled. Don't get me wrong. Everybody knows these refs aren't. You know what I mean? These are some got them off the street type refs here, 75, 60, $50, ref the game. You know what I'm saying? They just like, no foul, foul. You know what I mean? So it's just like, he knows that, but yet you're still sitting here like, dude, he might have got a foul, right? He missed the layup. He's sitting here arguing with the ref mid-game. I said, bro, get back. Pass 3. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, if we come down, we miss a shot, and then they coming back down making shots. I'm just like, and then he just kept letting people shoot the ball. There's one big dude, bro. He was like 6'5", head like Megatron. I'm telling you, head like Megatron. dude just kept letting them shoot threes, bro. And he was jawing the whole game. He kept saying, y'all can't guard me, because he was like a bigger like type of guy, right? Y'all can't guard me, just talking. And then he just kept letting them shoot threes. I'm like, bro, why you keep letting them shoot threes? He said, we gonna let them have that. I said, bro, we're losing. We can't let nobody have nothing, bro. If he hits three of those,
that's a crazy statement though. Period. Just to be like, we finna let him have that. Like, no, nigga, we ain't finna let nobody have nothing. They supposed to be fighting for every bucket. What you talking about,
bro?
I'm letting
telling
have
you,
shit.
Like, okay, so say, like, I remember, bro. I really remember this, bro. I shot a three, right, and it missed to where he could grab the rebound, but he just looked at the ball and then let the other team just grab it and go on the other. I'm thinking like, those are the plays, like, okay, you might not be able to score off the dribble, or you're not being able to get what you want. Those are the plays you're supposed to grab and then go back up and get the bucket. He just watching, and then he walked back on D. I'm just like, but he's not getting subbed out because he's the homies, the team, the dude that owns the team, that's his homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess they've been friends for a long time. So it's like, I told him, I'm like, bro, like, you need to get a sub. He just keeps saying, no, we good. I'm just like, you know what I mean? It's not my team, so I can't tell him that. You feel me? So I'm like, bro, come on. And like, I feel like just because he older, I think he like 39 or 40, he just feel like I know what I'm doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just do you.
Hell yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I'm 39 or 40, I'm on the team, and then you know what I'm saying, my homie, he's the coach or he's the owner, whatever. Oh yeah, I'm nigga, you ain't finna tell me shit, nigga. I'm Kobe in this bitch.
But I'm just thinking, like, bro, if you want to win, bro, like, you're gonna have to play
That
some
nigga don't want
D.
to win. He don't get no fucks about no win. He just want to feel like he did his shit. He want to go back home and tell niggas like, hey, nigga, you know what I did? You know what I'm saying?
Well, anyway, I don't know, man. That's the only thing about when you're passionate about something. That's like if you went to a boxing gym, bro, and y'all all, maybe you and some other dude, y'all really doing everything, you know, y'all getting into it, boom, boom, and you just got some dude in the group just half-assing it. You know what I mean? Like, you not.
That's always part of it. I don't know like that. You know, there's always gonna be that.
That I don't know. That bothers me. You know what I'm saying?
That's always gonna be there. There's always gonna be the dude. There's probably gonna be more majority of people half-assing it, especially if they've been, you know, spoon fed or gifted to a certain point. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But Flu, you know our intensity, man. Anything we do is high. Like our workout, even if it's a BS workout, we you know, we
Most
human
people they ain't
motherfuckers.
on that.
We went out, we went out, we was lit all night, and then we would go to the gym. Even if the workout's makeshift and we just kind of like getting through, it's still high intensity. It's still okay.
Most people don't be on that though.
We're doing this.
Most people don't be on that though. That's the thing.
I don't know. That's the only thing that made the day just not good, because I was just like, I didn't shoot well, but we still could have won. But it was the energy from others that was just like, dang, like this is the game I would have to have been just killing and making all my shots to counterbalance that. You know what I mean? So I was okay. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, but I'm hitting my threes and I'm doing this, so it's making up for that in it. But if I'm not making the threes, every time I go downhill, they have help. They doubling me. I have to give it to somebody that's not capable to shoot. You know what I mean? And then you're not running back. You're letting people. You know what I'm saying? So it's a trickle
It's
down.
frustrating. Like, I'm not saying it's not frustrating, but it's like at the same time, like,
yeah. And it's like afterwards, like that's why I told you I ended up being cool, because like after the games, I ended up going to go see my cousin. She did this like event. She was cooking. She cooks. That's her thing. She does catering and stuff like that. So they did like an event for the community. She went out there. And I put up on it, you know what I'm saying? It was just the vibes of the environment, you know, just all black people there. You know, they were all, you know, trying to get their hustle going. So I thought, you know, just that energy made me feel like, you know what? It is what it is. You know what I mean? It just is what it is.
Whatever. I love that energy. That's fire energy.
Yeah, like
really, you know, got the mud shit, just shit like you just trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Like even the dude afterwards, he's like, man, I love all y'all that came today, man. If y'all didn't get a chance to go to my taco truck, I'm over there off Manchester and 7th every day, right in front of the Ralphs, man. Y'all come and bring y'all love. We all love you. Do y'all get safe home? You know what I mean? I'm just like,
I don't know if you're looking for a new segment of the channel, but I'm like, if you know what I'm saying, if you're dropping in on locations like that, nigga, film the joint. You know what I'm saying? If you need someone to slice it up, we can talk about it. You want to slice it, but I'm like, that might be something. I'm like, it don't gotta be like every week or nothing like that, but maybe like every other week or 2 times in a month.
Mm-hmm.
I like go out there, you know what I'm saying? Even when you talking about your sister. What's that? What I got on my mic?
Oh, well, my sister's my cousin.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, your cousin, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's a little segment you can do. You know what I'm saying. But go ahead, my bad.
No, but yeah, but no, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know, man. I be passionate about certain things, and I know, like, it is crazy. Like, my pops always used to tell me, like, because I used to just get so mad. And then he used to just, he always used to tell me, he's like, Chandler, you can't be mad at other people because they don't have the same passion or the same,
Yeah,
love that you have. You know what I mean? And it's like,
absolutely. That's
and
great
even
advice.
him telling me that as a young man, it's
That's
still to this
amazing
day, it's
advice.
hard to kind of cope with, because it's just like, like, you know what I'm saying? I put a lot of work in. I really be wanting to go out there, even if, like I said, I wasn't playing the best today, but I did everything else. I rebounded, I made plays, I'm setting other people up, I'm making the right reads, I'm doing other things to make sure that we can contribute to a win. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sulking because I ain't making the three, like, man, you know what I'm saying? Just running back and just be like, man, whatever, let it do blow by me. Because, you know what I mean? I'm like, still win. Like, we can still win. Like, I'm not even playing the best, and we're up or we're down 2. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just be interesting, man. As you get older, you just realize a lot of people don't have the passion you have. And it's just like, I don't know.
Or
That
just should
frustrates.
just be different. You guys got respect. Should just be different. People be on different shit. That's it. You can't criticize someone for not being on the same wavelength, path, intensity, desire, whatever the case may be. If you're on 2 different paths, you're just on 2 different paths. Is what it is. That's just part of life. That's just gonna be, you know what I'm saying. But real quick, I'm gonna say salute to A-Tib McCutcheon. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Haven't seen you in the chat before. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not part of Black Blues family, man, go ahead, be part of it, man. It's worth it. Go ahead.
But yeah, I read my day, and I just ate the food that she let me have. Shout out to my cousin Elite Seasonings. But and I got some banana pudding waiting on me. So I
What's
get
the
a
name?
day
What's the
about
name? What's the name of her spot?
Elite Seasonings.
Elite Seasonings. So salute to that. Elite Seasonings. Where's
Yep.
You know where it's located? Where you can pull up.
She's out of the IE. She doesn't have necessarily a particular like a place. She just like caters type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like if you hire her, she'll just pull up. Like, hold on, I'll show you her Instagram so y'all could just kind of see.
Yeah, you finna pull it up. So salute to that. I'm telling you, we telling y'all now, Black Blues TV family, y'all been fucking with us on the content, letting us grow. But we focus
Can
a
you
little
see
bit
that?
so it can get focused. It's not focusing. Cover your face so your face not showing. That's why it's not focusing.
Oh,
No, not cover it, but put your phone in front of you.
oh,
Yo.
damn.
Right there, yo. And then bring it out, zoom it out. You know how you do the thing when you do yo, there we go. See, there you go. Y'all go ahead, follow it. Y'all see it. Elite Seasonings _
Yeah,
Y'all go ahead and
Elite
check out that
Seasonings _
that Instagram. We support. We want to add stuff to the channel. We don't want to just be sports boxing all the time. Even though that's what we love. That's what we've grown it. We're gonna be adding things, man. We told y'all this is gonna be the biggest year for us. Whew. This is gonna be the biggest year for us thus far. We're gonna talk next year,
Exactly.
but this is gonna be the biggest year for us thus far in growth. But you're gonna see us. We're gonna add a lot more content because I'm like, there's some shit that we can start doing. So trust me, I'm planning a trip to go out there to Cali, and we finna make some content, man.
And I'm
I
still
bring
down to come out there too, man.
yeah. So
we
we
work that
we
out.
got some content for y'all coming up on a different side of the game. But anyways, what do you rate your day out of 5 though? You didn't give us
4.2.
4.2.
Yeah, I probably I don't got nothing to watch this Sundays, man. All my shows is kind of up.
Same here. I was like, today was the first day, bro. Today was well, go ahead, but I'm like, same here. I know exactly what you get.
Yeah, so 4.2. If I end up watching a movie or something, or watching something, and it might boost up, but as of now, 4.2.
I respect that. That's a solid day, solid Sunday. I love Sundays. Absolutely. I always love my Sundays because shit, it's just me, myself, and I. You know what I'm saying? So, but my Sunday, I'm gonna just do a quick rundown. I'm not gonna be extra with it. Woke up, watched my shows, and it wasn't that much because a lot of my shows actually have ended now. So I'm gonna have to try and start some new shows. By the way, you'll probably like Zen. One of the shows I'm watching right now is I want to say the Dirty Black Bag. It's a Western show on AMC. It's about to be the finale next episode. So if you're looking for a show, you'll probably like that.
Dirty bag.
The Dirty Black Bag. I might be off on some of the words, but it's somewhere around there. It's an AMC show. It's a Western show. You'll
I
see
want to
it.
watch that Samuel Jackson show you were telling me about. You said it was good.
Watch that as well. But that's a binge. Do it a day where you can binge because you want to go like because I'm like the first like 2 episodes is like kind of slow pace, but then after like the second episode it starts picking up. There's only like 7 episodes or 6 episodes to it though, so but yeah, I relaxed all day. I didn't really do much. I had some errands I had to take care of. I went out, took care of some errands, bills, all that type of stuff. But other than that, I'm saying enjoy my day, relax, watch some good TV. I'm saying just a beautiful Sunday. So I don't got no complaints. I do want to say this real quick. I didn't expect to get a contract signed. Got a contract signed tonight. So, what I'm saying? That made brother feel like, oh, that's a beautiful ass Sunday to start off with. So I can definitely start off my week, solid when it comes to work.
Great. You're
So
going to be
now
going
we
in there
here.
tiptoeing in your Jordan.
Say that again.
I see you about to be going to work tiptoeing in your Jordan.
Yeah, in the joint. Like, yeah, what's good with it? Yeah, niggas hating on me. So, and it's very soon. It's coming upon soon. I need to get me some new shoes. So I'm like, that's gonna be fun. But yeah, my Sunday been good, man. My Sunday been good. I wish it's not ending already, but I really enjoyed it. I got some food. Got my food up in there. Having me a little burger because my cheat day today. So getting the burger side of the game in, and yeah, and then we're gonna end. And I want to say this too. I want to say this to the Black Goose TV family, man. For real, for real. I want to say this. If y'all end up, hopping up in here, watch this. We appreciate y'all. Like for real, for real. Y'all really showed out 2022. It's been dope. So I'm like, man, we're gonna keep bringing y'all the content. Y'all keep supporting us. Y'all keep dropping what y'all feel like because at the end of the day, this shit ain't nothing without y'all. This shit is built for, and everything we doing for y'all. So, what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all. Keep, what I'm saying? Let's keep moving along. Let's keep moving forward. Let's keep doing what we're doing, man. And we ain't gonna slow down nothing. You know what I'm saying? We going,
all gas,
all
no
hands,
break,
yeah,
boy.
all gas, no break, all hands on deck, all that type of shit. So yeah, my day for Sunday 4.5 because damn it, I love it when I have a whole day and it's just myself. So 4.5 to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? Eat me some food, relax after. I got all the shit I was supposed to do. See, it might have been lower, Zen. If I didn't do all this shit earlier, it might have been lower. But since I got all this shit out the way, it's like,
I'm just
well,
happy
after
you don't gotta
this,
do
I'm
it
just chilling.
afterwards.
Yeah. So I'm like, so it's like a 4.5. 4.5 for sure. Feel.
That's
Now we got that out the way. I'm pretty sure it's the third quarter of Phoenix versus the Pelicans right now.
Yeah, it is.
Who's winning?
The Pelicans by 5, 6 minutes left.
And who's doing an absolutely amazing job out there right now?
I'm guessing BI. He's playing good. Looking like a team effort from the Pelicans. Ooh, he's got.
I love how Zed never wants to give CJ McCollum his credit.
I haven't seen him really do nothing when I look up. I'm not. Come on, bro. You act like I hate CJ McCollum or something.
It's not like you definitely made it seem like, what I'm saying, Dame made him or something.
So you telling me 11 points, 5 for 17 from the field good?
Yes.
What? If that's the case, KD been playing phenomenal.
KD's been playing good. He hasn't been playing bad.
Oh, man, you're crazy, man. You haven't been watching. I've been watching every game start to finish, man. That man is out there playing like soft juice.
Nah, man, I just think the system that he's playing in doesn't complement his game.
Oh, shit. Here we go, man. I'm not hearing that, man. Because all I know is every team Bron goes on, he makes it his system. That's what
problem,
great players do, man.
But that's the problem with your analysts, though. It's like you can't say this player does this, so this player should do this. KD and LeBron are not the same players. See what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, as far as KD,
I knew KD and Kyrie wasn't going to work out because KD and Kyrie are the same player. But Kyrie is 6'1", you know what I'm saying? 6 feet.
But I'm saying, though,
LeBron and Kyrie are not the same player. LeBron is what Kyrie should be at his height. And some would say LeBron is what some would say Kyrie is what LeBron should be at his height. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you 6'8", you should be a pure scorer. That's what they used to say a long time about LeBron. And then Kyrie is like, oh, you 6 feet. You should be a passer. You should be able to get your team involved. So they were perfect complements because what they weren't good at or what their weaknesses were, their strengths were, you know what I'm saying, vice versa. KD and Kyrie have the same weaknesses and the same strengths. That's not going to work.
All I'm saying is, man, KD is being assertive in my opinion, man. What I've been watching, man, he's losing the ball. He's turning the ball over. He's not making the right reads, in my opinion. He's just not looking to really dominate like
There's
he
no
was
such thing
last
as
year.
looking to dominate.
I'm talking about looking at for mismatches, taking advantage of certain things. I feel like he was doing that last year. And
So
this
what
year he's
am I?
not doing it.
Okay, and I agree with you. But what if I said the reason he's not looking for those is because he doesn't have it? See what I'm saying?
What doesn't he have? What do you mean?
He's not in a position where he can take advantage of mismatches and where I would be the most strong at, where I can utilize my strengths, because he has a particular team around him that doesn't allow him to get to those positions.
So who's holding him back?
No one's holding him back. The team that he's playing with, the roster around him, doesn't allow him to utilize his strengths.
But I'm saying this. I mean, somebody on the floor is holding his game back. Something is not allowing him to do what you claim that he usually wants to do. So I'm saying, who is
first and
that
foremost,
person?
Kyrie and KD is not going to work out if you don't have a legitimate big man. If you don't have a legitimate big man, you cannot utilize both of them together unless all of a sudden you're going to make KD the big man and then play pick a role between KD and Kyrie. But if you're not willing to do that, and you're going to say, oh, KD, I want you to be on the wing and let Kyrie do his thing, and then when the time is right, he's going to pass it out to you. We're talking about Westbrook and KD all over again. Am I not wrong?
Well, I think Westbrook is a better passer and more of a team-oriented type of player. And I don't know why people
agree with that, which is why you saw how far they got in the playoffs.
Why
compared to what you're seeing with Kyrie and KD.
I need you to interject on this because because this year was really hard to kind of defend him just because of what was going on. I could give you instances. I still didn't think it was his fault as everybody tried to make it, but everybody keeps telling me he's just a sorry basketball player. He's trash. He's weak. He's this. And it just really bothers me because I'm just thinking, like, did y'all just gloss over everything he's done? Like, he's gotten teams to playoffs that I don't even know another, probably besides Bron, could have took that team to the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like,
well, Westbrook, Westbrook for a long time, people didn't like Westbrook. Like, there's always been this particular,
it's always been dislike
stitch of people who have been just waiting for his downfall. Like, oh, wait. So it's a perfect time for him to be. Yeah. Like, for me, the way I see it is like, I'm like, we're just trying to be too extra about it simply on the fact of because he went to the Lakers, and then people are trying to say LeBron chose him over DeRozan and does this. So like, there's this extra narrative to make it seem like, oh, but we could have had this, we could have had that, which makes Westbrook be like, oh, which people are trying to make it seem like Westbrook is more at fault because of that. And it's like, that's not true. And I'm like, in reality, people want to talk about there's always a scapegoat for LeBron, but how is it we talked about LeBron, we talked about Westbrook, but one of the smallest stories of the season was AD not even being available. And I'm like, at the end of the day, let's be honest, if AD was there, y'all would be in the playoff. I don't care how weak he is. I'm not a fan of AD, but if he's there, y'all in the playoffs. So I'm like, we're having this entire conversation, and I'm like, for me, it's a good distraction technique, but I'm like, we're having this entire conversation, and I'm not going to avoid the fact where I'm like, but wait, no one's talking about the fact that their number one option, everyone's saying the number one option, not me. This is what the people are saying. AD, he hasn't been there the entirety of the season, but you want to just blame everything on Westbrook. Shit, even if they would have gotten to the playoffs and they would have gotten to play-ins, they would not have been able to get that far without AD. They built their whole entire team. They hired Frank Vogel because of AD.
That was the worst hire in the
But that's why they hired him. People don't want to talk about that either. They hired Vogel because of AD, because they were they're like, I want to hire someone who's able to complement a big man game. LeBron didn't want AD, he wanted Tyronn Lue. And everyone say LeBron got all these strings to pull, but he didn't get the coach he wanted.
Yeah,
so how is he so powerful? But they said, oh, you want Lue? Nah, fuck that. You gonna get Vogel.
That was the worst thing I've ever seen, man. Worst thing. But it's interesting. Hold on. Keep talking to the people. I'm about to put this in the fridge.
I'm just like, how powerful was LeBron if that's the case? I'm like, that don't make no sense to me. Everyone say LeBron's moving all these strings, he's making all these choices. But if he can't even get the coach that he wants for his team that supposedly he's always able to get, now all of a sudden he's able to make a decision to say, oh, I want Westbrook over DeRozan. And so they're going to be like, yeah, let's do that. Man, it's easy to hate. It's harder to try and, differentiate the real. You know what I'm saying? What's really going on? Take the emotions out of it. Really see what's in front of you. That's my personal opinion. I'm gonna be real with y'all though. I'm not watching the Suns Pelicans game right now. I'm probably gonna start watching it during the fourth quarter. I'm hoping the Pelicans win. I'm going for the Pelicans. I'm a CJ McCollum fan to the core. I'm a Brandon Ingram fan to the core. I really think Brandon Ingram is really good. You know what's crazy is I think if there was anybody that the Lakers should have kept, if you even want to go back, and we're talking about during the LeBron era, this is my opinion. If there was anybody that the Lakers should have kept, I think it should have been Brandon Ingram. Julius Randle, Caruso, like all these other guys you guys talking about, Pope, all these guys, who cares? Lonzo Ball, who cares? If there was anyone the Lakers should have kept was B.I. B.I. and LeBron James would have been absolutely ridiculous. It'd have been absolutely ridiculous. That's where they dropped the ball. B.I. would have been, well, let me say this. I don't think LeBron would have won a championship the same way he won a championship with AD during that time. But now, B.I. is the guy that the Lakers should always look back and be like, oh, we fucked up.
I'll tell you this.
Y'all want to talk about everyone else? Fuck everybody else. B.I. is the guy. That's the one.
B.I. and drafting Lonzo Ball over Jason Tatum will forever be like,
okay, I don't know. That's a good point. I thought you were going to say Lonzo Ball, but drafting Lonzo Ball over Tatum. But that's Magic's fault. No one wants to talk about it. That's Magic's fault.
Yeah, that's Magic's fault for sure. And he said, you know why he said he drafted Lonzo? He said because it had that Hollywood type of story because of the Ball family. I said, what? You drafted him because of the Ball family? Because of, oh man.
Well, that was Magic just telling y'all, like, telling everybody, like, hey, I don't plan to be in this position that long. I'm just doing shit because I'm having fun.
Basically. Ooh, that's nasty, B.I. Ooh. Ooh.
But you know, for the longest, I said B.I. was the next KD. And niggas could act, you know what I'm saying? When I was still back in the day playing 2K, y'all can look at all my old 2K teams. I had B.I. as my guy.
I was mad when we traded B.I. though. I thought we could have kept him. And everybody's like, oh, I'm so glad we kept Kuzma. I'm like,
that's where y'all fucked up. Y'all thought Kuzma had more potential than B.I. Dumb niggas.
You keep saying y'all. That office thought that. I knew B.I. was better.
You said that. You tried to make it seem like Kuzma was that nigga.
I had no choice. What am I gonna do? Oh no, it's all right, man. Please, the way how much lips you was bumping, I had to just be like, nah, Kuzma's gonna live up. I mean, he got us a ring, but at the end of the day, as far as longevity,
he got y'all a ring. What?
He was a part of the team.
Okay. Whoa.
But I'm saying no, he was a part of the team. But all I'm saying is, and let me get back on track because we was talking about Westbrook. Yeah. Why do people keep talking about him being so weak, man? And it really bothers me, man, because I'm just like, this is showing me right now. I'm like, Westbrook had more of a factor. Because think about it, even when OKC kept losing, they was getting to the Western Conference Finals, and then they got to the finals one year. It wasn't like they was losing first round or something. Like they was, and they never got swept. They always had a series. They always was ahead or something.
Go ahead. I'm finna turn on the game now. I'm like, all right, I think I want to watch the game. See what's going on.
Yeah, man. I'm just like, why are people acting like he did? Even in the finals, he still played pretty solid. Like, I'm not saying he played just stellar, but he played solid. Like, you feel me? They won the game 1 against Miami, and then James Harden averaged like 8 points a game. He went from getting 22 off the bench or 23 off the bench to 8 points. That's a big drop off. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I just think at the end of the day, Westbrook is an easy cop out.
Just because of how hard he plays and how he plays?
Yeah. And like he makes a lot of noticeable mistakes. That's easy to really, you know what I'm saying, play on. And be like, oh, that's the reason. But in entirety, if you watch the game, I'm like, I remember watching a lot of those games, and I would see, as much as I love Malik Monk, I saw him throw away a lot of he do some stupid shit.
But he could score.
He'd have a good game, and he would start feeling himself, and he would take shots just like Westbrook, but he's not gonna get the same. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like Westbrook is like the Deontay Wilder of a basketball in a sense, man. He just like everybody is just waiting for him to just lose so they could be like, I told you he couldn't box. I told you he was bad at basketball. You know what I mean? Like everybody want to say he's just weak, and I'm just like, man, I take him on my team, man. Y'all crazy, man. With the right big, Westbrook would be a monster, man.
They showed him that or at least the stream I'm on, they're showing the Oscar Valdez Stevenson lead up, whatever. Sniper said, I don't keep up with the Pelicans, but where's Zion at?
He broke his
Zion's at
foot.
400 pounds.
You crazy. He broke his foot and they're not letting him play this year. He could be helping the Pelicans right now as we speak. He could be the difference maker and potentially beat the number one Suns. But
what do you feel like? How do you feel though about mainstream media, man, talking their shit, saying that Zion don't want to be with the Pelicans and he's overweight and all this type of different things? You think that's all cap? You think he can come back and be better than what he was? Like, what's your situation on
it? He technically.
Sniper said, "Huh? Zion fat again?" I don't know. That's what the people are saying. The people out there and
they were showing some clips of him.
Ear to the, go ahead.
They were showing some clips of him before pregame. He still can go between the legs.
That doesn't matter though.
I'm just saying, like he got some bounce.
No, it's not about balance. It's about shape. I'm like, if you're naturally gifted with something, you can be, especially when you're a young gun like that, you can be completely out of shape and be able to do amazing things. When we talk about these players, we're talking about millions, we're talking about investments. So everyone's looking at it from the aspect of, how do you look now? How do you take care of your body? What can I invest into you? And how is it going to be 5 years from now? From how it seems with Zion, yeah, he has all that less athleticism in the world, but what do we see when it comes down to bigger guys that weigh heavier, that's based off athleticism? How long is the investment? It's not long. So people are scared. Like, we're talking about, like, we've seen guys, like, niggas is scared of Ja Morant and how athletic he is. Oh, he might be the next Derrick Rose. Like, be careful. And he's light. Think about it, if you 6'6", nigga, 300 pounds, and you can jump like that, that's not an advantage, bro. Long term, that's not an advantage. That's a lot of wear and tear on your bones. So if you're not able to keep yourself in shape, people, you're gonna be out of the game more than you are in, or you're gonna have Sean Kemp, Nick.
Sean Kemp wasn't 300 pounds though. Shit!
That's a great
Cameron
point.
Payne just slammed that shit. Ooh,
Sniper said, "Bro is enjoying the Southern food." Yeah, well, enjoy that thing. Just make sure you run the shit off after. And he ain't doing that.
I'm not gonna lie, the Pelicans is hooping. BI leading them right now, man. It's crazy.
Don't say BI is leading them. You know damn well who that is.
It's BI. I'm watching. It's BI.
It's
your guy that you want. No, CJ's not even in the game. Devontae Graham's doing better than him. Ooh, that was nasty.
I don't know why you don't like CJ McCollum so much. It's crazy because you know damn well the Pelicans
liking him. I'm just not gonna just boost him up because
CJ wouldn't even. I mean, the Pelicans wouldn't even be in this position if CJ McCollum was not even on the team.
That's fine, but that has nothing to do about this game.
Excuse me, sorry, y'all.
You keep trying to talk about the totality. I'm talking about the game right now. He is not being a factor. They have him on the bench for a reason because
the totality always matters. You can never say the totality doesn't matter. That always matters.
Oh, pull up cash. Oh, that's a good rebound. I ain't gonna lie, this game is pretty interesting.
CJ Craig, thank you, his snipers. Thank you. I don't know why Zen just doesn't like him. I don't know why, bro.
That's the narrative you want to push to the Black Goose fam, then go ahead and push
that's what you said. You discredited CJ. You said he wasn't that nigga. You said the Portland would be better without him. That nigga Payne really dunked on him. You said
that was nice, huh? I told you.
Yeah.
That was nasty. One down.
That nigga was a dancing nigga. So no respect, Payne. I'm playing.
Back to the KD and the Nets, man. That's what we was really talking about. I just wanted you to clarify that, Westbrook, because it just really bothered me. People kept saying he was trash and he's top 75 of all time. But anyway, back to the Nets.
People talk their shit, whatever.
I think, but see, at the same time, this is KD and Kyrie's fault because they wanted Steve Nash as the coach. They got what they wanted, and now it's not working. So
that's the biggest thing that people aren't talking about. Isn't that interesting how no one in the media, like people are talking about Vogel a little bit. As much as I don't like Vogel, why does no one talk about some of the reasons why the Nets are losing is because of Steve Nash? It's like that nigga's name is untouchable.
Just because he won 2 MVPs.
He's an NBA darling.
But I'm going to tell you right now, the fact that he was not playing Blake Griffin those first 2 games, and as soon as he put Blake Griffin in, got 8 straight points, it showed me that he didn't know what he was doing.
He doesn't know what rotations to do though.
But
So,
it's so
go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can say what you. I'm just saying it's so
No,
obvious to me. I'm just like I know exact, bro. I just go straight up to KD and be like, look, remember last year you was playing the 5 and we had a lot of success. I put KD at the 5, Blake at the 4. I put Kyrie and Steph at the 1 and 2, and then you can have Bruce Brown, or then you can have. But see where they lacking that they let go of Jeff Green last year. That was a big piece they let go. Even though Joe Harris can shoot and all that, it was Jeff Green because Jeff Green was coming in and giving them a lot of good minutes, and he could play both sides of the ball.
Can I say actually? So this was I was saying before we went live, and I was like, I'm gonna keep it for the live. Well, we was on the phone actually. I thought Seth Curry was a bad pickup. The reason why I thought Seth Curry was a bad pickup is not because Seth Curry isn't a phenomenal player, but because the roster that they had in place, Patty Mills was going fucking crazy for the Brooklyn Nets, right? When did he stop going crazy? When they got who? When they got Seth, because Seth ended up taking his minutes. And as much as I love you, Seth, you a beast. You don't have the pedigree of Patty. So as soon as you take away that confidence of Patty, you went from literally having a third option. Like it could have been Katie, Kyrie, Patty Mills.
And then Goran Dragic off the bench. Goran Dragic don't even play, bro.
So now you brought over Seth, and now that whole Patty Mills. Because I was like, man, I was watching that last game that they lost. You know what I'm saying? To the Celtics. I was like, man, Patty Mills don't even get run like that no more.
Bro, he only played Dragic 8 minutes that game. I'm thinking like
that shows you how inexperienced Steve Nash is, though. How are you going to go from a guy in Patty Mills who was literally carrying your guys' team when Kyrie was not playing? It was literally it was literally Patty Mills and Katie. And you are not going to play this man now and you're going to play Seth Curry over him?
If I was you, I'd be thinking this if I was you, bro, because they gave y'all Jared Allen, bro. I can't believe they got rid of him and Karis LeVert. I still can't believe that. Imagine if they kept that
LeVert.
Team,
they fucked up with LeVert. LeVert literally could have been y'all real third op. But even they did all that. But you literally have a guy in Patty Mills sitting on your bench who carried you guys when you had no Kyrie.
He's the only other champion on that team, bro.
Why is he on the bench and Seth Curry's playing? Bruce Brown is playing. Bowen, whatever the fuck the nigga name is. But you're not playing bro. Patty, bro. I'm like, right off of that, I was like, oh man, y'all niggas fuck. This is stupid.
Yeah. And I'm
gonna choose not to play Patty Mills, bro. That's crazy, dog. This nigga was having his best year this year, statistically, until Seth came.
I agree. Patty was hooping. He gave the Lakers 30 on Christmas, and I called it. I said, bro, he about to give us 30 on Christmas. Sure enough, he gave us 30 big hots. I said, oh, Lord. Patty out here.
Non-factor after that, bro. They said, oh, we got Seth Curry. All right. Steph, whatever. It's never said who y'all rooting for in the playoffs. I want to know from now so I don't hear no BS. Like I told you, he was a guy. I knew the whole time.
I've been said the Bucks is going back, man. I've been called that, man. I've been said that.
So I said you got the Bucks.
I said the Suns and the Bucks, man. Even though that Devin Booker and Middleton hurt, their teams are just too goodly built, and they have great coaches that know how to adjust and put the right people in. The fact that Grayson Allen stepped right on in when Middleton was out, and he just had 27 a day and blew the Bulls out again, shows me that Budenholzer knows what he's doing, man.
Excuse me.
He knows exactly who to replace in. He went and started Bobby Portis. That was the best thing they could have did. You know what I mean? Like, he knows what to do. He knows who to put in the game.
Okay, you know what I mean? You got the Bucks and you said the Bucks and the who?
And the Suns. Even though the Suns right now are struggling with the Pelicans, people have to remember, man, the Pelicans are a good team just because they're young and they're hungry. Like Devontae Graham, people act like he wasn't just up for most improved a year ago. You know, he just got overshadowed because he ended up going to the Charlotte Hornets, and they had at the time they had I forgot who their point guard was over here. It wasn't Drew. I forgot, but he ended up not was it Lonzo? I forgot. I think it was Lonzo. That's what it was. He came over when Lonzo was still here last year. So this is the first year he's been playing without Lonzo. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Then they go get they trade for CJ McCollum, and that's what ended up giving them the boost for them to be actually, you know what I'm saying? Valanciunas has been proven. He's a good 12 to 12 player every night. You know what I'm saying? JaVale McGee hitting jumpers. That's crazy. You feel me? 12 to 12 guy every night. BI, he was already nice. You feel me? Zion, he was supposed to play. He didn't play. But I'm like, they just have guys that are hungry. You know what I mean? So I'm like, this is, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to just lay down. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like Devin Booker, it's just Chris Paul old. Oh,
No, keep talking to people. I'll be right back.
okay. Chris Paul's just a little older now. So, like, he has to really, like, pimp, he has to really, like, pick his spots to when he, you know, he's going to do what he wants to do. That was good defense right there. That's a good foul. But you know what I'm saying? Like, because like Michael Bridges is not like a one-on-one player. Like Devin Booker was a dude that can get his shot off. So it's like right now the Suns have to adjust to figure out how to win without D Booker versus a team that's very, very hungry in a sense where it's like they feel like they weren't supposed to be here. They were a 10th seed. You know what I'm saying? They barely got into the playoffs and then they end up having to fight their way in. You know what I mean? You know? So it's just like, you know, and you know, they were supposed to lose to the Clippers, and you know, et cetera, et cetera. But what did he say? Because I know the Bulls lost, cause yeah, man, y'all Bulls not looking good, man. They're getting ran out there, man. The Bucks are just too good of a team. They just play team basketball, man. Like you got Levine out on the perimeter, and he's not very aggressive in a sense. DeMar DeRozan does what DeMar DeRozan can do, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not even – it's just they're playing great defense, man. Like, they're just too big. The Bucks are too big. You got an agile guy in the Bobby Portis that can shoot threes, that doesn't mind rebounding, that can move his feet. You got Brook Lopez that actually moves very, very well to be 280 pounds at 7 feet. He can shoot the three. You got Giannis. He might not be the best shooter out of any of them, but he'll be able to shoot some jumpers sometimes. And if Giannis is making some jumpers – y'all gonna have a long night because now you know he can get to the hole almost whenever he wants to. It's just with Giannis, he has to start low key. I want to say get a bag. I just feel like he has to kind of pick his spots better. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I can give LeBron at his size and his weight. He was good at knowing when to turn on the juice and then when to, you know, turn it back and make the right play or not, or make it look like he wants to get a bucket and the whole time he was just setting you up to know that, he's open in the corner.
Can I say real quick who I predict to be in the finals this year?
Who?
I'm arguing between Golden State Warriors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that could happen. I could see that.
Because I'm thinking the Golden State Warriors is probably going to end up being up in there because I'm like, the way they playing is absolutely ridiculous. But at the same time, if they don't end up being in there, then yeah, I got the Phoenix Suns getting back there again because I think the Phoenix Suns are going to be able to, get to the next round. Devin Booker's going to be healthy, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But on the other side, though, I actually think on the Eastern Conference side of the game, I'm going to go ahead and rock with the new breed. You know what I'm saying? The one that I think is probably going to be able to make them the most money and be able to make them a lot more money in the future, Philadelphia 76ers. I got the Sixers getting to.
Oh, Joel Embiid?
Yeah. Because I think when you look at the marketing, you were just talking about, they're having trouble marketing Giannis as the best player, et cetera, et cetera. I know Joel Embiid, he's not from the Americas, but for some reason, Philadelphia, that market, him being there since day one, I just feel like they can make that happen. They can pop. With James Harden being there, I'm like, James Harden's way more marketable than Chris Middleton. I think they really have something going. If they were to end up winning the finals, I think they really have a dynasty, like at least 5 years. I think they got a lot going for them if they're able to make that happen. So I'm going to go 76ers, and I'm just going to go with Golden State to kind of be different.
I can see Golden State. Like, if Golden State goes, I'm telling you, I won't be surprised because people forget that's still basically the same core that they had when they went to the finals. But Jordan Poole, I don't want to say he's just way better than Harrison Barnes because I feel like Harrison Barnes brought his own.
He's way better than Harrison Barnes.
I don't want to be that guy because I'm like, Harrison Barnes wasn't weak. You know what I mean? He hit big.
I'm not saying he's weak. Just Poole is. Let me take. You're right. I'm not saying
he's not way better. Because that's a 6'8" wing. You know what I mean?
Let me. I'm not saying he's way better. I'm saying he fits much better into what they have going on.
Yeah, what they have going. Exactly.
Why does he though? Let's not take this out. Why? Because we can't compare Barnes to Poole. Who do we get to compare Barnes to? Who is Barnes in this particular team? Wiggins. So they're fine.
Wiggins is better than Barnes.
Boom. So that's why we're talking. That's why Poole. If Wiggins wasn't there, let's see how good Poole is.
Yeah, exactly.
But people are taking away from what Wiggins does. He's so nonchalant, but it's like you have to pay attention to this guy because he's literally Barnes, but
he got way more bounce.
He's better than Barnes.
He's an athlete. He's just more better athlete, I'd say. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not necessarily a better shooter, but it's as far like he can get the ball and he can go get a bucket. He can
Barnes should be way better than what he is now. Barnes should be a second option on the team easily. That's a good point. It's snipers. We're not talking about it because that's our biasness. Celtics, yeah, the Celtics. Well, obviously the Celtics are going to beat Brooklyn Nets. I guess, yeah, the Celtics is definitely the dark horse. The East is looking very strong. You want to know why the East is looking strong though? Because there's no one man in the East that's just that nasty no more, where they can just shoot. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's almost interesting to me. It's like, you know, I've said this before. Some motherfuckers, I'm an old nigga. Some motherfuckers, I'm a young nigga. But it's interesting in this particular era. There's no one player that can make a difference. You see what I'm saying? Like for me, I'm so used to there being a team where one dude, we just like, man, he just so nasty. Ain't no way, ain't nothing stopping him. You see what I'm saying? Am I making sense? I'm like, nowadays, I'm like, or not now, but at least right now, recently, like what's going on? What we're watching in the NBA is like, we're seeing a lot of beautiful team play, like beautiful team ball.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Booker can get injured, but the team can make up for it. You know what I'm saying?
But
Celtics, Jason Tatum, he cannot do nothing in the fourth quarter, but Jaylen Brown can go crazy.
Only reason
Jason Tatum, by the way, is a bad boy, but
he's nice. But only reason I don't have Celtics even beating the Bucks if they play next round, which was looking like is most likely will happen, just because Giannis does not have a problem of guarding a guy like Tatum and still be able to be effective for his team. Like, I honestly believe KD guarding Tatum has drained him because he's never been asked to really guard the best player on the opposite team, if that makes sense. You feel me? He did it in Golden State and guarded LeBron, but he has so much help. He has so much help with that it didn't matter. You feel me? Like, he could take 5 plays off
like that because there was Iggy the whole time.
And Draymond. So it was like, but you get what I'm saying though? If he was to guard him, it wouldn't matter because you got somebody like a Clay, Steph willing to come down and just light you up.
Let's clear this up real quick. I'm like, Giannis is a better defensive player than KD, but KD is a better offensive player than Giannis.
Yes. But I'm saying as far as just being effective though, I'm just like, okay, so he's guarding Tatum. Giannis could turn around, grab the rebound, and then push it full court. And if you don't stop Giannis, he's gonna go dunk that joint.
But if you're constructing a team, there is no way that I'm going to make sure that KD is guarding the best small forward on another team, or he's not guarding the best 3 or 4. Like, how do you not have someone to make sure that they'll be able to guard that position?
I'm saying at the end of the day,
what happened to James Johnson?
I don't know. They're not playing him. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't understand why Drummond was just
I could have swore they had that nigga, bro.
I don't know why Drummond gets so much minutes. I think he's just he needs to go back to being bad teams or something.
That's on Steve Nash though. Steve Nash is like, oh, I need a big body out there. I'm like, bro, like honestly, like Drummond, like his defense is terrible. He can only guard a 5. He can't switch. He's terrible on the pick and roll. Like, why are you not playing James Johnson, bro?
Or Blake Griffin, bro. Like Blake Griffin.
Yeah, or Blake. Why are you not playing why are you not playing these 6'7", 6'8" guys who are able to switch multiple positions and not make you feel like you're in desperate need if they just so happen to be on the guard? But I'm play Drummond, like what?
But see, also this is also another thing that makes the Bucks better too, is because you got somebody like Drew Holiday that can go guard a Jaylen Brown, and people don't want to talk about that. He can sit and guard a Jaylen Brown because he's doing that with DeMar DeRozan right now. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, the Bucks just have enough defense and they're big. You know what I'm saying? Like, Giannis is bigger than everybody on the Celtics.
No, if Chris Middleton is back for the Celtics series, I got the Bucks all day.
Yeah, he's gonna come back. He's out for what? So he's gonna be out the rest of this week.
Aren't gonna beat them.
Yeah, he's gonna be out the rest of this week, and then they say he's out for 2 to 3 weeks. So he's already been out 3-4 days.
Because at the end of the day, it comes down to the best for best, right? Giannis is the best player on that team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Giannis is the best player on the court. But you can neutralize that if the overall team ends up being better than the best player. The overall team of the Celtics doesn't necessarily neutralize that. When it comes to the Brooklyn Nets, when they talk about KD, the overall team, it neutralizes what the Nets have because Nets, other than KD, everyone else is a goddamn guard.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
But see, this is
KD
what's
has to
supposed
be
to
the
be
big man.
But the offset was supposed to be Ben Simmons, though. Now, what do you think about Ben Simmons? They say he's out game 4 now. Remember, all the rumors were saying he's supposed to play game 4. What you think about that?
Ben Simmons don't want to play for the Nets neither. He's gonna try and find a way out of there too. I don't know what team he wants to play for, but he's gonna try and figure out how to get there.
He doesn't. So you think he don't want to be there neither? That's why he's talking about his back and his
For
mental
me,
health.
I just don't understand. As much as I understand, as much as I appreciate the loyalty between KD and Kyrie, I'm like, look, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. Like, people want to criticize LeBron for being like, oh, I'm gonna try something with Westbrook, but at least LeBron's thinking that he's looking at Westbrook and he's like, okay, I did this with Dwayne Wade, like I was good, and then I had Chris Bosh, like this is similar. 80 Westbrook, but
Like
people want to put the blame real quick. People want to put the blame on Westbrook, but 80 was injured the entire year, so we really don't know what that would have been like. All we got to see was LeBron and Westbrook, and that just don't cut it. Even if they made the playoffs, y'all not making it nowhere past nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, we got to be real. I'm like, if 80 was not healthy, you don't really know what that would have been. But at least he's like, you know what I'm saying? I was with D Wade. I've seen this before. But when we're talking about KD and Kyrie, it's like KD, like, bruh.
And it's, it's like, KD, you should know yourself by now, bro. You should know, like, unless you just want to prove the media that wrong. Like, I feel like as a player, like, I'll give LeBron that. I'll give somebody like a Kobe that. Like, they knew what type of player they were, and they made sure they wanted to have a certain type of personnel around them. You get what I'm saying? Like, Kobe's like, I want to trade because I don't have a big man to offset me having to do all this goddamn work. Trade for Paul Gasol. Whole dynamic change because they already had Bynum, but Bynum was in and out of injury, and then he had those 3 good years where he was healthy.
Yeah,
and then we ended up winning two championships, but it was the big because we got to remember Kobe and Shaq. Kobe came in with one of the most dominant big men to ever step on that court. So it's like Kobe knew how to get his shit off because they're like, you can't just double me if you want to because I just dump it down to the big fella, and y'all don't want to leave him one-on-one. You get what I'm saying? It's the same thing with Powell. Powell necessarily wasn't dominant, but he was ambidextrous and he could shoot some threes. He had a good all around in between game. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, you want to double me, I'll just dump it down to Powell, and Powell would throw it over to the top to either Lamar Odom or Andrew Bynum, or kick it out to Fisher for the 3 on the court, on the skip. So it's like he had what he needed. You feel me? But he knew what type of player he was. He got the player he needed. Bron the same way. Bron knows exactly the players he needs for him to be successful. Like you said, only reason he didn't successful this year because AD got hurt 10 games into the season, then got hurt another 20 games into the season. Like, he just never was healthy the whole season. So it's like, it's easy to be like, Bron messed this up because I'm like, but that's why Bron went crazy because he was like, damn, like, I gotta see if I can keep, if I could just turn it on, maybe AD can get healthy. And he just got too healthy, got healthy too late in the season. And the chemistry just wasn't there.
Technically, he never got healthy, though.
Yeah, he really rushed himself back.
The hope that they would get into the plans. That ain't gonna work.
But it's like with KD, it's like KD left.
LeBron had a legendary year, bro.
Facts. But I'm saying KD left Golden State to prove a point. He got Kyrie Irving because he said, "Oh, that's my bro." Woo, woo, woo. And then Kyrie makes that statement, "Oh, I can look down on the other end of the bench now and know that guy can make that shot too." I'm like, shoot, y'all not in positions to make no shots.
But why doesn't KD get the same type of criticism of recruiting Kyrie as LeBron gets for supposedly recruiting Westbrook?
I'm trying to give him criticism, but you trying to make it seem like what I was saying.
No, I'm not saying towards you. I'm just saying in general. I'm like, it's just interesting where there's so much blame on LeBron. Oh, you chose Westbrook over DeRozan. And I'm like, well, let's break it down. Let's really look at it for what it is. Because first, it looks like the Bulls are about to be eliminated the first round, right?
Yeah.
2, you want to talk about DeRozan supposedly being a better option than Westbrook with the Lakers. What's different about the DeRozan game than Westbrook? What's the biggest difference?
One's an
Westbrook
MVP,
knows
one's
how to
not.
set up. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go. My bad. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying one's an MVP, one's not.
Shit, there's another two. Westbrook actually, he like you've told me before, he's led the league in assists
Multiple times.
multiple times. So if you know LeBron, or if you watch LeBron, you see I got that. That's old school right there. I'm a LeBron fan since what I'm saying, long time. Since I was a young nigga.
Just say 03, bro. Just be real with him.
Since 03. That made me feel old. I don't want to say I was supposed to say young nigga, but all right. It's since 03. Anyways. But but what the thing about LeBron is he's always had criticism on he never wants to be a scorer, he never wants to take that shot, but it's because he's always trying to get everybody involved. But because he's able to get everyone involved, he makes everyone around better. So a lot of times when he ends up not being on the court, the problem is when he's not on the court, that same flow of the game doesn't continue, and now we have a problem. And what he was able to establish during that time that he was there ends up being derailed, and when he comes back on, we're playing catch up. But there's certain players that he didn't have to worry about that with, and that's where he was able to win chips with. D Wade being one, Bosh, Kevin Love, Rondo. So you see, I left out a certain.
You're not trying to
with
say
that
Kyrie,
being said, you got that.
but you have to remember though.
I'll give Kyrie. I'm not gonna be an asshole. Kyrie a little bit, but Kyrie never was.
It was Kyrie, but you have to give Kyrie this. Kyrie didn't have a lot of antics when he was.
Kyrie was better when LeBron was on the floor. Kyrie never was able to hold it down when he was off when LeBron was off the floor.
But that's fine though. But why? Because they were the polar opposites of what you just made that point. They were the polar opposites of what their games were supposed to be. Bron was supposed to be Kyrie, and Kyrie's supposed to be Bron. It worked because Bron knew I love myself, and Kyrie's like I love myself. So Bron can sit on the corner and kind of not really, let Kyrie go crazy. But once Bron touched that ball, it's Bron's show, and Bron know how to run his show. So I'm saying you got to give Kyrie his props because he played his role perfectly when Bron was on that court. Without Kyrie, you do not have that ship that year. If he just gets hurt in that 2016 year, turns an ankle or something.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not doubting. I'm not denying that. You're right.
I'm just saying this. And he had less antics. Think about it. When he was LeBron, bro, you didn't hear none of this. I'm not playing this, or I'm not doing this, or I'm taking vacations, or I'm going to this family event. Like, he never did none of that BS because, one, it was a smaller market. Two, he was in Cleveland, so there was nowhere for him to go.
I gotta dispute that though. I can't even let you continue that because I gotta dispute that because no, you didn't hear that, but Kyrie was very injury prone all the way up until LeBron, actually became on Cleveland. So it makes me wonder now, was you really injured, bro? Or was you just saying something just because you knew we wasn't finna be able to get nowhere on the team?
Of course that's that, bro. Why do you think he was hurt on Boston, bro?
So
he
that's
was hurt
trash,
every year.
But that's trash though. Me knowing that's trash.
But I'm not trying to defend him in that regard. I'm talking about I'm trying to give Bron goddamn props here if you're gonna let me do it. I'm saying LeBron came with a certain type of mentality and a certain type of mode. Think about it. He apologized to LeBron later. He said, dang, bro, I didn't understand what you was kind of telling me until he went to the Boston Celtics and he realized Tatum and them were still developing and they didn't know how to take over a game like LeBron did. He didn't understand why LeBron would do LeBron things. You feel me? He's thinking like, why is LeBron not doing this? Why is LeBron? You feel me? He's always wondering and questioning. That's why people want to talk shit about Dion Waiters and people want to be like, oh, okay, why didn't Dion Waiters and Kyrie work? Kyrie ruined Dion Waiters' career. Dion should have been so much better than what he was. Think about end up being on a team with Kyrie. The way this nigga think, he derailed his whole entire career. Dion was supposed to be his motherfucking Robin, nigga, but he didn't allow that. He didn't want Dion to be that nigga because Kyrie ain't shit, man. But see, look, this is where a lot of people, when it comes to basketball, and it'd be hard for me. Yeah, Pelican number 5 is going crazy. They're winning right now, by the way. One on Pelican, it's like Halen or something like that. Something like that. That's his name.
What's the score, by the way? I don't know what's going on. I'm not even
101, 87 Pelicans. They're gonna tie this.
Damn, they putting that work in. What's that finna be when they win? What's it gonna be the playoff series? You know what I'm saying? 2-2. CJ.
Anyway,
CJ Stanford.
You don't even know. But what I was saying was, we were talking about Brian, wasn't we?
Yo. We're talking about Bron, Kyrie. I was talking about shit about Kyrie. I was like, Kyrie sucks.
Oh, you talking about D-Wade? Look, I'm just saying, like, oh, okay, that's what I was saying. A lot of people get bent out of shape when it comes to this skill, man. And all these analytics and stuff has gotten people's mind hazy. People forget, like, eye test, but the eye test, it can't just be the skill. It has to be everything. You feel me? Like I was telling you what Danley was saying. Like, some people have the skill, but they don't have the ability. Because he said the same thing. He said KD and Kyrie not working because them motherfuckers don't really play no defense. He said KD will do every now and then when he wants to, but they're just not going to play defense. And if you're not making shots and not playing defense, you're never going to work. Now, he didn't.
How many offensive players who are absolutely offensive studs play good defense?
Shoes, right? Shit, Bron, Jordan, and Kobe. They're the only people that come to my mind.
So I'm like, that's nothing new.
But
I'm like, it's not about defense. It's about that it's not going to work. They're the same players at different heights.
He wasn't putting it like that, but he basically was saying what you're saying, but he didn't say they're not going to work because of that reason. But basically, him saying that is the reason why they're not working is because you have two players that are very, very offensive oriented. But when it comes to the defense, that's why the Bucks work so well. Because I'm like, even though Giannis does play defense, you have a guy like Chris Middleton, you got a guy like Drew Holiday, you got certain guys, you got PJ Tucker, you got guys that are willing to be like, I don't care.
Understand now? See, in my opinion, I might be too Fluence right now. That's why they call me Fluence, you bitch ass niggas. You contradicted yourself because I'm like, you can't say, okay, you put together guys who are offensively talented, but not defensively talented or defensively structured. But we're talking about a team that's structured where we have guys that are defensively structured. Some may not be as offensively talented as the other guys we're talking about, but they are more defensively mindset. You know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying is
team structure. We can't criticize the individual.
Sorry, y'all.
See what I'm saying? We can't criticize the individual. We have to criticize the group. We have to criticize what's being put together. And what we're seeing is, okay, with the Bucks, we have a defensive mindset with these guys, but we also have certain things that are going to be able to, okay, if you're not that good here, we have someone in place to make sure that they make up for that. And that's how the Bucks are set. Also, we're talking about a Bucks team that's been together for a certain period of time. The Brooklyn Nets is orchestrated in a sense of this shit has just been here, throw everything together. Nigga, I just made a sandwich on the fly. Nigga, I got to eat something real quick before I go to work. Nigga, I don't know what I'm going to put together. I'm just going to put, you know what I'm saying?
That's a good analogy.
Rather than be like, okay, I know exactly what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? How I want to make it. I'm taking my time. I'm seasoning everything. Nigga, I want to throw an omelet or a little egg on it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go crazy with it.
You prep for the week on what you was going to eat.
Exactly. The Nets is like, okay, this is quick. I didn't even think about it.
But see, and it's crazy because I remember when the trade happened, everybody kept saying that the Nets won the trade. Philly gave up too much. I'm like, Philly gave up exactly what they needed to give up. They got rid of Drummond, slow feet, get up out of here. They got rid of Seth.
And everyone was like, why would you get rid of Seth? You see what Maxi's doing right now?
Now Maxi can embody that role now. He doesn't.
You see my point? You see my point? And then bringing Seth over took away from Patty Mills. Patty Mills was having not one of his best. Yeah, he was having one of the best seasons of his career. Maybe not statistically, but I'm talking about percentage-wise.
Oh, he was
big games.
He was hooping. I was watching,
man. He looked crazy out there, bro.
He was hooping. He was having a lot of 30 games, a lot of 28s. He was hitting 8 threes. He was balling, bro.
As soon as they got Seth, man, that shit.
He was looking like Patty off the Spurs.
And what's crazy is him and I don't even blame it on Patty. I don't blame it on Seth, even though I do put credit. I'm like, man, the fact y'all got Seth ain't right, but I put it on Steve Nash because he didn't know how to handle it. He didn't know who to give time. So he was like,
it's KD, Kyrie, and Steve Nash. It's all three of those fault. It's all three of their fault. It's KD and Kyrie's fault because they wanted Steve Nash. And it's Steve Nash's fault because he took a role in a job that he thought he could be Steve Kerr. And one thing the difference between Steve Kerr and Steve Nash is Steve Kerr was an NBA champion and played with one of the greatest players of all time. He was never the best player on his team. So what that means is he had to listen more than he had to perform. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Versus Steve Nash was always the best player, maybe besides them Dallas years when he was with Dirk. But at that time, they weren't no NBA.
There's a reason, and there's like to even back up what you're saying. There's a reason why we see guys like Udoka, with the Celtics and Willie Green,
Monty
Pelicans,
Williams.
like these guys who are not the best players on their teams or role players. Why are they being so successful in a position where they're coaching. Why? Because when you're a role player, you have to understand the game plan more. You have to understand where you have to be at more, what you
You
have
have
to do.
little margin for error.
Bam. And so it translates better as a coach because you understand, like, okay, this is what needs to be done in this particular position. It's not about ego. It's not about this. Because a lot of time as a role player, especially, I never been at that level, but even you can even translate it to if you work in a 9 to 5 and you have to be a part of a team and you just now starting in, you trying to get your feet wet. You have to be able to find your niche. You know what I'm saying? If you're smart about it and you have long-term goals and you want long-term success with it, and you have to try and grow on that.
And to the degree, and also this, you got to think about this. The Warriors was being established before Kerr has got there. Mark Jackson had those boys' confidence on $100 million, and Klay Thompson already co-signed. He said he believed in us before anybody else in the league believed in us. He said we were the baddest duo in the NBA, and that was when Dwayne Wade and Bron were still on the same team. He said we were the baddest duo in the NBA. He called it before everybody else did. Now, Steve Kerr ain't giving that man flowers every year for his birthday or giving him one-way trips to Cuba or something, go vacation with the wife, then he's doing a disservice to that man because he built that team to be what it was. But I give Steve Kerr his props. He knew how to win, and he knew how to relate to those players because he was in that position. He was like, okay, I remember when I was on the team and Phil Jackson told Jordan that, who's open? Paxson. Why didn't you give him the ball? You get what I'm saying? So he understands, like, okay, Steph, you're the you're the man, or Iggy, you've been on the USA team, but who was open? Draymond. And then Draymond's gonna know, okay, he believed in me. If I don't even shoot it, I'll give it back to him. You get what I'm saying? Now you have
a add on that. A lot of people. So you're correct. Basically, we're talking about Mark Jackson. The reason why the Golden State Warriors became what they became is because he coached with an ego. The reason why they were able to become championships is because Steve Kerr came and he coached without an ego. And that's what they needed at that point. Everyone has to forget Mark Jackson, he was there when Steven Jackson was there. BD. Monte. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge the decision to get rid of Monte was Steve Kerr's. And let's be real. Do you think Mark Jackson would have got rid of Monte?
I don't think so.
No. Ego. Not in the sense of a bad way, but I think it would have been in a respect. Like, Monte, you've been here with the Warriors. We went through this. I'm not finna, you know what I'm saying? But you had to get rid of Monte to make sure Steph was who he was.
And Klay.
There was also a slight rumor that maybe Mark Jackson didn't believe in Steph like that. People don't want to acknowledge that either. You can't blame him because he was with such a crazy era, and there was Monte still there.
You got to remember, though, to Mark Jackson's defense, Curry was hurt for the first 2-3 years of his career. He was only playing like 30 games a season, 38 games. Like, he wasn't playing full season. So Absolutely. If he had that looming doubt, it was because I don't know if this guy can stay healthy enough to lead this team. And as soon as he got fired, all of a sudden he becomes MVP.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you feel me? I just think Mark Jackson got built a bad hand because of how everything kind of went, how they painted him as the scapegoat, how they just basically, and then they just gave Steve Kerr all the praise and Mark Jackson no credit. And I think that's what really tarnished his chances of trying to get another coaching job because everybody's like, look, you couldn't do nothing with these boys. And look what Steve Kerr did in his first year.
Well, supposedly, I can't remember off the top of my head, someone just got released and Mark Jackson might be up for the coaching job, but I can't remember. Wait, the Charlotte Hornets coach, he got fired, right?
Yeah. They're saying he has an option for the Lakers too, even though I don't think they're going to hire him. But yeah. And the Sacramento Kings, I think, I heard too.
So he's going to be back in play. So I'll give him that. He's going to be back in play, but I'm like.
But back on Steve Nash, though. Steve Nash doesn't get any type of, and it's crazy because you go on Twitter, everybody keeps saying, is it Steve Nash's fault that KD and Kyrie are shooting this bad? Is it Steve Nash's fault that KD and Kyrie combined for 32 assists and 24 turnovers? Is it? They basically, but see, they all keep saying that it's not Steve Nash's fault that KD and Kyrie are playing the way they're playing.
But I just think it's very selective choice because when the Lakers were having trouble, we were talking about LeBron, we were talking about Westbrook, we were talking about Vogel, right? When we're talking about I just had them motherfuckers in my head, and it just made me just lose it. You say KD,
Kyrie and Nash.
I can't remember. It just went out of my head.
Is it this year's team? Any of these teams this year?
Yeah, it is this year's team, but I can't remember my particular statement. But anyways, but even with that being said, I'm like the fact that they're not even thinking about blaming the coach and they're blaming it on a particular person. I'm like, man, this is we seen it before. And ain't really mean nothing. That's my personal opinion.
And it's like, I just think it's all about who you have on the floor. I'm like, the fact that KD hasn't played no 5, but he was playing the 5 last year, it just shows me, I'm like, you went away with what actually was kind of working because it was the mismatch. But see, Steve Nash doesn't know how to give KD breaks. Like, KD's playing 44 minutes, 42 minutes, 43 minutes. Like, I've never seen him do that anywhere else in his career. Even OKC, he could get some minutes on the bench. That's because he doesn't know who to put in the game. He doesn't know, okay, if I put Gordon Dragic, Patty Mills, Claxton, Bruce Brown, and maybe Blake Griffin, that can actually sustain because I got 2 guards that can get their own buckets. And then Bruce Brown that's going to do all the little makeup stuff. Blake Griffin's going to play hard. He knows how to play in the playoffs. He's been in the playoffs for multiple years. And then you got Claxton that can, give you some height.
Rotations ain't been right all year, though. That's the thing, though. If you ain't had consistent rotations,
or James Johnson, my bad. Or put James Johnson at the 5.
But they ain't been blessed, like you said. I'm like, what happened to him? So I'm like, if you ain't playing these rotations, if you making sure ain't certain type of chemistry when you playing these dudes together, you can just, you know what I'm saying, you just throw them out there. It ain't gonna work. Especially against someone we talking about the Celtics. They've had this core group for how long?
Like 5 years without Terry Rozier.
You know what I'm saying? The only thing difference is the coach. But they've been had that coach there because he's been an assistant. Well, no, he ain't been assistant there. He was with Spurs, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so I'm like, but still, I'm like,
He's
that
not,
nigga Brad Stevens,
great.
Brad Stevens, he just moved the seat up. You know what I'm saying?
And Brad Stevens was a great coach. People don't want to
So I'm like, he didn't go nowhere. So it's not like everything just automatically changes. So I'm like, it is what it is.
What do you think about Ben Simmons not playing, though? I think that's do you think he's doing that because he does not want to play, or you think the Brooklyn Nets just icing him until next year? Because it's crazy to me he hasn't played not one game all this year.
I don't know about Ben Simmons. I don't know what's going on with that. That's I don't know what's going on. This is the crazy situation with that. Because
and I only say this because I'm just like, I'm watching Towns play basketball right now. Had a terrible game 3.
Talk about that real quick. I gotta use the bathroom. Go ahead.
All right. I just been watching Towns play this year, man. He had a terrible game 3, came back game 4, and had 30. I think he had 31. Hitting big threes, making big plays. He had some lapses. He had some bad plays or whatever. But I'm saying, and his dad is there and his mom's not. You know what I mean? He's playing without his mom. His mom's just died. It's fresh. You know what I'm saying? Still kind of fresh. People think because a year went by or a year and a half went by, it's not fresh. It's still fresh. And yet he's still out here playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to come at Ben Simmons. I'm not trying to say that his mental isn't maybe in the right spot. People are different. But at the end of the day, my boy only lost a basketball series. You know what I'm saying? He had a bad series. He didn't shoot the ball in any of the fourth quarters. He had a total of 4 points in 6-7 games. You know what I'm saying? He just was not playing basketball the way everybody was expecting him to play. His coach supposedly threw him under the bus. The best player on the team, quote unquote, threw him under the bus. And then he just said, I don't want to play in Philly anymore. I want out. That's fine. Rich Paul and them told you, okay, this is all allegedly because I don't want anybody to come at me. But, people in your group must have told you to say, hey, I'm having some mental problems. So you stop getting fined because you were getting fined every day. You did not come. And when you came to practice, you got kicked out of practice. You just weren't handling you know what I'm saying? Like he acted to me, in my opinion, as somebody spoiled. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't acting as if as a businessman, like Flu. you're in a corporation. If you're not liking how things are going, you're not gonna start just not coming to work and not working because you don't like you feel me? You're gonna, if you want to go somewhere else or you want to do something else, you're going to make sure, okay, I'm still conduct myself in the business that I told myself I was going to conduct myself. I'm going to talk to the management. If the management and us can't come to an understanding, then I'm going to have to start prepping myself or prepping whatever I got to do to make sure I can go somewhere else to make sure I'm accommodated the way I feel like I need to be accommodated. That is fine. But I feel like the way Ben Simmons did, like even James Harden, people could talk about him, but he still came to Houston. He came to training camp and he played those games until he got traded. He made it known he wanted to be traded, but he still played. Did he play to the potential he should have played?
Playing. Never
Did
stopped
he?
playing.
Did he play to the potential he probably should have not been playing? That could be debated. But at the end of the day, he still came to work.
Though.
That's what I'm saying. He came to work. I'm like, Ben, why weren't you just playing basketball? I'm like,
even
you could have worked.
Was even able to play the whole game. Like just having him. My bad. Go ahead.
No, you good. I'm just saying, like, you just play the basketball. You're here to play basketball, bro. I'm like, even if you don't like the fans, you don't like the people on your
millions.
team,
like it's not
you've been paid millions.
Really disrespectful. Like there's regular niggas really watching you. Like, bro, like I know you a young nigga and you feel like you really, you know what I'm saying? You feel like you've been given everything your entire life and you feel like this, you should be really standing up for some shit, but you ain't standing up for nothing, my nigga.
You're not even looking dope to me. You're not even looking dope. At least with Kyrie, it was more so of like a principle base. He was just like, I don't want to do this because it doesn't correlate with what I believe in. Okay, that's fine.
And Kyrie was even on some bullshit. You know how I feel about Kyrie, man. Kyrie, get the fuck out of here, man. That's some bullshit too, nigga. You was just showing off your privilege as well, man.
But I'm saying though, as far as Ben, I'm like, his was all about what he don't like. You know what I'm saying? I don't like.
Ain't no real nigga got that opportunity to be on that shit. Privileged ass nigga. Fuck out of here. My bad. Go ahead.
This nigga crazy. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, it's like being a group project. If I don't like who's in my group, I'm not gonna not do my part because I don't like who's in the group. I'm gonna do my part because that's the whole point of a group project. It's a group effort. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have to talk to that person as long as I do my part and then he does his part. We're gonna get an A on the project.
Yeah, but what about this? You know, you've been in the group project with you've been around a nigga. He ain't gonna do his part. Nigga ain't gonna do what he finna do. You gonna be on some bullshit. So what about that?
But Ben was the person not doing his part though. He wasn't coming to work.
That's my point. I'm like, if you know that's the case and he's on that shit, I'm like, he's gonna talk the talk. But I'm like, if there's people sitting there and they supporting it, I'm like, what can you really do when you really pointed it out? You be like, that shit ain't right.
That's why he was getting fined. But I'm saying, and then all of a sudden he said his mental's not right. And that's why he got stopped getting fined because
I'd be like, we got to point it out everything on the same level because I'm like, we talking shit about Ben Simmons, we got to talk shit about Kyrie because we can't just let Kyrie's shit just go ahead and just avoid. Everyone acting like he's standing for something, but I think that's cap.
I
think all that shit is cap, man.
It like, could be
getting paid $1 million a game, man. Fuck out of here, man.
It's just tough because it's just like it was only Los Angeles and New York that had those states. Like if you didn't want to be vaccinated on any other team, you didn't have to be. You get what I'm saying? But then you can go be like, well, you feel me? But he didn't know that when he got to Brooklyn Nets because that wasn't, you know, the pandemic didn't happen yet. You get what I'm saying? So it's like it's I don't want to just get on him because I'm just like it was only in 2 states. Every other state you didn't need to be vaccinated to go play. And if you came from another state and then played in that state, you still didn't need to be vaccinated. But he could be in the building though. He just couldn't play. So it's just tough for me. It's just tough for me. I don't want to just get on him. You feel me? Because I'm like, well, at least Ben Simmons, I'm like, he had the option to play basketball. It wasn't.
Can I ask you this? That's the only medical procedures or medical, I don't know, demands that's coming from the NBA that they're asking you to do. You know, they're doing like all other type of tests. Like, I got to test you for this. I got to make sure this straight. You know what I'm saying?
But it wasn't a test that he was worried about. It was a vaccine that he didn't want to take.
That's moving the goalposts. We're talking about medicine. We're talking about health. So we're talking about something that has to do with that. You don't think there's certain procedures or certain things that he has to clear and be cleared for in order for him to play?
Yeah, everybody has to do a physical or whatever.
Okay, so if he's okay with that, why all of a sudden now push back for this?
But I mean, just because you're getting a physical doesn't mean you're putting anything in your body, though. You're just making sure that you're in physical peak to play basketball, so you don't die on the court.
So if a doctor recommended, hey, you have to have this amount of fluids in your body, you have to make sure you have to, you take this at a certain point, you have to these vitamins, etc., etc. The athlete's gonna be like, okay.
Yeah, but I'm like, we're talking about vaccines. There's people that don't believe in putting unnatural things into their body as far as when it comes to like shots like that. You know what I mean?
So why does it change when it comes to vitamins, pills, etc.? Gatorade, pre-workout, energy drinks. Why does it change?
I'm just saying some people don't want something injected into them. If they have the choice to put it in their body themselves, then that's different, I feel like. But if you're feeling like they're saying if you don't do this, then you can't do this, and it's something that you're not for, that person has that right to not want to do that. That's what I'm saying.
If I like to indulge in tree smoking, and I go to a job and they say, hey, you cannot do that, and the only way you can be on this job is if you don't indulge in that. And I'd be like, okay, what does that make me? What's the difference between that and, oh, you have to take this vaccine in order for me to be part of this job?
Well, it's two different things because one, they can fire you, but even if they get rid of Kyrie, they have to give him that money. So they're not going to just get rid of Kyrie.
So how much is Kyrie really sacrificing when we're talking about the totality of everything?
I mean, when you look at NBA
How is it
contracts
in comparison to what we own?
I'm saying if you just look at NBA contracts, I'm like, it's really the owner's fault why they're not getting, you feel me? They should be saying if you're not in this type of shape, you're not going to get your money. Or if you're not doing the right things, you're not going to get your money. Those are the NBA's fault that they're making contracts to where players can manipulate that regard. Think about it. A dude could tweak his ankle and say, I'm not. Think about Kawhi. Kawhi said his thigh wasn't good the whole year, but everybody in the medical staff and the Spurs said it was good for him to play. And they all basically said that he sat out on purpose and he was healthy. You get what I'm saying? But he got all his money. It's not like he didn't get paid. He got paid every game. So I'm saying you can't blame the players for something that the NBA hasn't put in their contract. In your contract, it probably says if you smoke weed or we find weed into any of your tests that you can be fired. So now you don't get any of your money no more. But in the NBA, it never says if you breach any of your contracts, you won't get paid anymore. It's guaranteed money regardless.
No, I respect that. Everything I'm throwing out there, man. Everything is devil advocate. Just trying to put things on playing, but that's all I'm on. So I respect everything you're saying.
I'm just answering. You feel me? Because I'm just like, it's just tough. Because I'm like, I'm not trying to say Kyrie is just 100% right, but I'm like to that point, I'm like, it was
not even close.
But I'm saying it was only.
Kyrie's always been a selfish nigga. That's the one thing I know about him. So I'm like, all this activism shit, you're trying to make it seem like Kyrie, and he's not trying to be for the people. Fuck out of here with that. That shit is cap. I'm not a dumb nigga. Oh. That shit
I'm just saying
strictly selfish reason. You ain't finna play me on that bullshit.
Hey man, I'm not trying to convince you on Kyrie, bro. I'm just saying my opinion was it was only in 2 states, and maybe he felt like it wasn't fair. You know, he could have been throwing a temper tantrum. I don't know. I'm just saying for what I'm seeing. I don't know all the behind the scenes. You feel me? If you don't know all the behind the scenes, it's harder to judge. If you knew certain things that maybe they were doing on purpose to only affect Kyrie, maybe you would be like, okay, maybe I have a different stance on what I was saying before. You get what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. I'm just giving that benefit of the doubt. But when it comes to Ben Simmons, he has an option to go to work and play basketball. If Doc Rivers said get into a drill and he's not doing the drill, you know what I mean? Okay. That's like, you know what I'm saying? That's
he didn't want to be there.
You know, and that's fine.
That's little kid shit. No, I'm not plotting that. I'm like, that's little kid shit. Like, I agree with you. I think that's some very privileged shit, little kid shit. Like, when this nigga is older and looking back at life, he's gonna regret that moment. Because I'm like, nigga, you could have really done some. You could have rebelled in the sense of being like, I'm finna play and show you how great I am because I'm in a position that no one else really can even imagine. Like, you could really took advantage and been like, let me rebel in the sense of I'm this good. My trade value is this high. When I come to you and say, I don't want to be with y'all no more, that's my power play. But instead, you went out and you was like, I'm going to be a little bitch nigga about this and be like, oh, I deserve this. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna look back at this and be like, you made the wrong decision. Like, I agree with that completely.
Because even think about James. James kept saying he wants to come back. He wants to come back. He's just doing that because he already knows. He already told the Houston Rockets that he wanted to be traded. So he couldn't go back to the media and say, I want to be traded. But he knew that this situation in Brooklyn wasn't what he thought it was. He like, wait a minute, Kate. Dang, I low-key wish we had Westbrook. You know what I mean? Because he's like, at least with West.
Similar to what you were saying, though, at least with James Harden, every time he was unhappy and he wanted to trade, he played every time through the whole entire time.
And let's be real. He still had 44 points in Houston. He was still doing his stuff. I'm just saying he wasn't going crazy like before because he's just like, I'm not going to exert myself for this organization anymore. But when he went to Brooklyn, he still was playing good. People was calling him the MVP that first year. And then this past year when he was playing, he still was playing good. I mean, go ahead. No, you good? No, I was just saying, like, I still think, I don't know, man. I think he's just out of shape still or something. Cause I'm like, just his scoring ability is just not what I know you keep saying, oh, he's trying to, I'm like, I've seen him average 10 assists and 11 assists and still go get 25, 27, no problem. I feel like it's not, I don't know if it's because of the rule change. I forgot about that. The rule change could be affecting him because he's not getting the same amount of free throws as before. A lot of the fouls that he's used to getting, he would create the contact. Now, if you create that contact, they're not giving you that foul. That could all, you know what I mean? And that could be fine. I'm just saying I'm used to seeing a certain type of James Harden, and the fact that I'm seeing him having problems struggling scoring is just different for me. And you might be, you might.
And I can respect that. It's not a problem he's having. So he's in a position he's never been in before right now. James Harden now realizes he's on the downside of his peak.
Career?
And he understands, no, not his career, his peak. So you can still be great, be on the downside of your peak because you can be more skillful than you are athletic. But he understands, he's like, okay, I can't do the same thing I can and be able to, capitalize off of it. So with that being the case, I'm playing with the best center I've ever played in my life. If we look at James Harden's career, what have we always looked at? If someone did not fit how he wanted to play, he was out of there.
Oh, I like Embiid, but I can't give him over Dwight yet, man. Dwight proved so much, man, in his
Embiid's
career.
better than Dwight. Embiid's better than Dwight. And I'm not quick to be on that. Embiid is different. That boy is a dog. And when I see that nigga playing, I'll be like,
he's a dog.
Nigga,
that step back three for game.
If you stay healthy for 2 years straight, you talking about Giannis finna be the best in the league? No, it's gonna be Joel. Or Joel's gonna be the next KD where we be like, I've never seen a nigga that big do the shit he does.
Hey, wasn't I saying he was better than Joker though? I was saying that now. You remember me saying that. I was telling you that.
And I would have never agreed with you until I saw what Golden State's doing to Denver right now. And it's showing that Joker. I'm like, you a fraud. And it hurts my soul because I love the Joker, but I'm like, nigga, you a fraud. Nigga, you needed Jamal Murray this entire time. So I'm not even going to get into that because that's a whole different subject. We can go 100 million times into that. But let me finish. I'm like, Joel Embiid is really the truth.
He's the truth. Facts.
And so I'm like, James Harden, he's playing with a center that he's never played with before. Wait, who's winning right now?
The game over, bro. I just was going. The Pelicans. 2-2. This guy's crazy. But go ahead. It's crazy because this shows how weak AD is because Brandon Ingram has 2 games already. And if it wasn't for Rondo and Drew Holiday, Anthony Davis would have no wins and never his playoffs. Because remember, he got swept when he played Golden State. Remember that? Granted, they won the championship, but still got swept.
What CJ do? What CJ do, though?
Go ahead, finish your point.
What's good with it, Corey? Pell's getting the Lakers number. Pell's getting the Lakers numbers pick in the draft. It's not fair.
CJ had 18.
Actually being fair. Salute to you, Corey. I ain't seen you here before, man. Go ahead, man. Hit that subscribe button. Be part of the Black Goose family's number love, man. Appreciate you hopping up in here, man. Appreciate you coming.
He had 18 and 9 on 8 for 21 shooting. But BI had 30. Valanciunas had 26-15.
Valanciunas,
Valanciunas is nice though. We've been knew he's nice.
I know he's been nice, but has he ever been nice? Like nigga, I didn't know he was this nice.
Yeah, bro. He was nice when the Memphis Grizzlies, bro.
You know what I'm saying? He's killing the game, man.
He was good with Memphis, bro. He was averaging 19 and 10 over there at
But I'm like, bro, wait, but BI, CJ. I'm like, you telling me that the Pelicans would be in the position they would be in if they didn't get CJ?
Bro, I
if they
never
didn't make the
said
trade for
that.
CJ, be real, be a hundred, Zen.
Did I ever
Don't
say
be
that?
cap.
You just want me to, you just want this narrative that I
Oh!
don't like CJ. I just don't like him as much as you. I just think that CJ's still a fraud to me. I've seen him play year
That's
in and
so
year
bad,
out.
bro. That's crazy. Why would
If
you
you
say
gonna call
something?
if you gonna call Paul George a fraud, you can't sit here and tell me CJ's not a fraud. I seen him in the offs with Dame, bro. He used to fold up, bro. I seen it.
It's not about folding up. It's about you have to respect the fact that, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I understand my role. They don't want me to be better than him. So I got to make sure that I be in a position where I take a
You're
back
not
seat.
better than BI.
It's not. Come on, bro. You're capping.
I'm watching the game. BI is literally leading them. He's really making the plays. He's diamond.
Nigga, the first 2 wins was because of CJ.
First 2 what wins? You talking about on the play-ins?
Yes.
No, CJ was hooping. But BI was hooping too.
All right, I'm gonna leave it alone. You finna get me crazy, man. You finna get my blood pressure up, nigga. When I'm over 30 years old, I ain't gonna have these conversations with you, nigga. I ain't got no time to play with my blood pressure, nigga. You know, niggas.
When by the time when you get to 30, right, bro, you're gonna have a lot of stuff that you've been wanting to have. You're gonna have way more energy than you ever thought.
Oh yeah, I've been on my Maca roots, nigga.
I'm just saying, bro, you're gonna have more energy than you thought. When the older you get, the more energy you low-key have, unless life's just been beating you down. And life's just been beating you down. You've been working in the
Pelicans
warehouse.
one, nigga. I called it CJ McCollum all day. Zen, he don't like CJ
today.
McCollum because CJ really the truth, but it's all good. He think Dame Lillard really that nigga, but CJ better. He been better than Dame Lillard. It is what it is.
Anyway, what was we talking about? We was talking about you was talking about something before that. Ben Simmons? Were we talking about that? No.
We was talking about Ben Simmons.
And James Harden playing. Oh, you're talking about Embiid. You saying Embiid is gonna be the truth. And
can I say this real quick? I got a contract randomly signed tonight, and I'm hyped.
The one before or another one?
No, it's the same one. I'm just like I'm harping on it. Go ahead though, brother. I'm sorry.
No,
salute to the Black Goose TV family, man. We've been working on. Y'all don't know how long me and this nigga Zen been doing these, man. We appreciate y'all finally rocking with us. Go ahead, Zen.
No, I was just saying, it's just funny the narrative because I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the Nets, right? And everybody's not trying to give Steve Nash the blame. They're saying it's KD, Kyrie. Now, only reason I want KD to get this smoke is because I had my favorite player, and you already know Kobe used to get so much hate and flack every year, especially when he wasn't making the playoffs without Shaq. They were saying he ain't shit without Shaq. I used to be so hot. I used to be hot, blood blowing. And then you already know LeBron. We already know. We ain't got to talk. So I'm just like, when it came to KD, I feel like even when he lost that 3-1 lead, they blamed Westbrook. KD didn't get no blame. Only time KD got any flack.
James Harden. Well, I'm sorry, not James. I'm sorry, Reggie.
Yeah, but I'm like, okay, even when he went to Golden State, everybody claimed it was the weakest move in NBA history, right? But when he went over there and he won those 2 back-to-back championships and Finals MVPs, it's like,
LeBron, right?
Huh?
I said they were saying he was better than LeBron, right?
Yeah, and on top of that, they were just basically kind of like, I don't want to say forgetting that it was one of the weakest moves in NBA, the weakest move in NBA history, because he chose to go to a team that beat him. Like LeBron didn't go to Boston Celtics. Now, if LeBron went to the Boston Celtics, his career looked way different. You know what I mean? But the fact that he went to a team that wasn't even an NBA title contender anymore, ain't been since 2006, and then he made them a title contender 4 straight years. To me, that just shows me greatness, because I'm like, he went to a team that he felt like will benefit his career, and he was right. You know what I mean? Versus KD, he went to a team where he claimed, I like the basketball over there. Do you like the basketball over there? Did you like how easy it looked because everybody got their shots? And you know, if you went over there, you would get your shots easier.
And what you point out is also, we're talking about a team that's already creating a dynasty that KD went to.
Exactly.
The team that LeBron went to, we weren't a dynasty. We were in shambles. I know, because I was a motherfucking fan. I'm still a fan today. So I love that where we're at. But you understand, the team that, like, LeBron literally came over just because he was like, oh, I like Kyrie. I think Kyrie nice. That's literally the only reason why. And that's why it's like LeBron is an older player. It's like LeBron still sees himself as that young nigga. You know what I'm saying? So if he was still the LeBron that saw Kyrie, LeBron's looking like I would have loved to play with Westbrook. I would have loved to play with him.
He would have
You feel
never
me?
left Westbrook, bro. Let's
That's
be
the
real.
thing.
He never blows a 3-1 lead to the Golden State Warriors.
And I still think LeBron and Westbrook works if AD is healthy. And I think a lot of all this bullshit happens, but it's like no one's talking about the fact that AD was not there to play majority of the games.
He only played 30 games, bro.
And they still had a chance to make it in the play-ins. So think if AD was healthy.
You got to remember, bro, and this is what people not giving Westbrook his props, bro. Even when he was playing in Houston, he still averaged 27, 7-7 or 8-8 or something like that, right? But he let James Harden be James Harden. And people are not giving him credit for that because I'm like, they still lost in the second round of playoffs. Yeah, he had a couple bad games, but you have to remember when it comes to playoff basketball, it's different. And we had all the hype. We had Dwight, we had JaVale, we had LeBron, we had AD, we had everybody healthy. We had Rondo, we had everybody that we needed. So we had Markieff Morris. You know what I'm saying? We had Pope. You know, I didn't like Pope. And we had Danny Greenery. I'm not a big fan of Danny Green, but they came to play. Caruso, they came to play. Yeah. Kuzma, you know, contributed. Like we had.
I didn't like Kuzma. Kuzma came to play.
But I'm saying
Rondo.
We had height, we had depth, and we had championship pedigree. The fact, even though J.R. Smith was not playing, he still brings a championship atmosphere. He brings a championship spirit. Remember, I was telling you today that one person can make there was no bad spirits on that team. Everybody was all in Mamba, Kobe mentality. We're going to win it for Mamba. That's why it really worked that year. And now people don't want to say that. So I'm like, the Houston Rockets only lost, and they lost 6 games. I'm like, they took Lakers to 6 games. Everybody else lost 2 in 6 games. The Denver Nuggets lost in 6 games. Miami Heat lost in 6 games. The Portland got backdoor sweep after the first game. So it's like, Westbrook knows how to play his role. You know what I mean? Like, people don't understand he doesn't know how to be a Batman. Now, he's never been a third option, but even when the AD was gone, he didn't want to start turning it on. I could see it because he's like, I don't want to get into that mode where I end up trying to become a second option. And then when AD comes back,
he only did it when LeBron was sitting out and it was just him. You know what I'm saying? That was the only
time.
Yeah,
it was just him because he knew he was like, okay, I have no choice. But you know what I'm saying? But it's like even our team and just the structure and the rotations, it's just like Dwight wasn't playing no basketball, bro. When he didn't start playing to like the end of the year.
That was Vogel's choice.
And we don't resign Dwight back, bro. I'm gonna be very, very upset. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be very, very upset.
I think y'all got a lot to figure out. I think y'all got a lot to figure out because I think it comes down to the fact that you got to figure out if y'all want to rock with AD long term, because AD was supposed to be your long term solution.
And he's looking like bag of onions right now, man.
So that's really the biggest choice. Everyone's trying to make it seem like, oh, what you gonna do with Westbrook? I'm like, nah, what you finna do with AD?
But I'm saying this to say this, like, this is the first time LeBron has actually gone to a program that actually has what you would quote unquote call a dynasty. But even when he got there, we was in shambles in a sense because we were still rebuilding. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't come to something that was already established. Like, think about it. KD went to the Nets, and the Nets was already building a culture of being a playoff team. D'Lo and Spencer Dinwiddie, like
they were a playoff team.
You know, I'm just saying, as far as like they had momentum and juju already. You know what I'm saying? Like they already.
But if that was LeBron, if LeBron would have done what KD would have been, they'd be like, you broke down the whole entire culture. But no one wants to talk about that. Like, look what Spencer Dinwiddie is doing with the Mavericks.
Making them way better.
Look how good LeVert is. Look at Jerry Allen. So I'm like, KD came over and he just like everything y'all want to say about LeBron, like, oh, it's an old team. Y'all got rid of all the young talent. What do you think happened with the Brooklyn Nets?
They got rid of everybody, bro.
But no one's going. You know what I'm saying?
And it's crazy because only reason I have to give KD this smoke because at one point he was one of my favorite players in the league. He was. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all.
He's still one of my favorite players.
But it's hard because when your favorite player is a guy like Kobe, it's just hard because of that mentality that I'm so used to.
But LeBron changed the game. So you gotta understand, like a nigga like KD, who's always been like second tier to LeBron, or who are you better than LeBron? He feel like he has to make certain moves so niggas could, see him in a certain light. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm saying though that
no one else. Look, during this time period, we had Kobe, we had LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Before that, Michael Jordan, Magic, all that stuff. But during our time period, we had AI. You know You know what I'm saying?
T-Mac,
Kobe, LeBron, T-Mac.
Vince.
For KD to be mentioning that, he had to do what he had to do. Because I'm like, the only niggas that we're mentioning other than that, when it comes to that criteria now, other than KD, is like, okay, let's look at Giannis. You know what I'm saying?
But
Yeah,
see, I remember
Westbrook
everybody
kind
was
of like
calling
creeps
Giannis.
in. Derrick Rose kind of creeps in, but like in that criteria we're talking about, is like KD made his way into that because he made sure to do something that rivals strictly off of LeBron.
But I'm saying, like, I remember everybody was telling. I was on Twitter. Everybody saying Giannis was stupid signing back with the Bucks. His career is over. He's never going to win a ring. And then they ended up getting Drew Holiday, and it all changed. And as soon as they got Drew Holiday, I said, "Don't sleep on them Bucks now, because Drew Holiday is perfect because he can score and he plays defense."
Do you ever think shit be rigged though? Because I'm like, I remember how injured Drew Holiday was. This nigga went to the Bucks, and all of a sudden, this nigga had no injuries.
Bro, he's been money. But I mean, bro, let's be real, bro. Darren, say you're an asset of mine, right? And I'm paying you $20 million, right? And I look up and I'm like, dang, we're on a 15-game losing streak. How much you need, Darren? I remember you telling me it was giving me a little pain and growing. You're like, it's kind of cool.
20.
You know, it kind of swells up from time to time. Want to take about a month off? We can say that you have an injury problem? Sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we just get you rehab and everything. We just tell the media that you have a bone bruise and you're working your way back. Fluence is out for the remainder of the month because he has a knee contusion.
Facts. That's how that shit go.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, when with the Bucks, he had to play because what did they promise Giannis? Giannis said, if I'm going to resign, you have to promise me that you're going to change the culture.
Yep.
So they got rid of Bledsoe. They got a point guard that doesn't mind playing defense and that can score.
Yep.
And they got who else did they get? They got somebody. Oh, they got PJ Tucker. You know what I'm saying? They got pieces to make everything. Then they got Grayson Allen. Like they got Bobby Portis. You know what I'm saying? And you know what's crazy? Bobby
got
Portis,
rid of Malcolm Brogdon. A lot of people criticizing for getting rid of Malcolm Brogdon.
Facts. But you know what's crazy? Bobby Portis, they said this summer only offer was the Bucks. And I think that's crazy because I'm like, he's been playing phenomenal.
But he only fits in with the Bucks. That's why it's unfortunate that the Brooklyn Nets took the bait on Andrew Drummond because they're taking the same Andre. Sorry,
Andre.
Anyway,
you're right though. Because the Lakers got fool's goals last year. I remember he was like, Drummond needs to have his own, you know. But it's just like you can't go to a team where AD's there, KD's there, or these type of players is there, and you expect to get the ball.
JaVale McGee.
No, he does not know how to play his part.
He always has known how to fit into a system. Andre Drummond at one point felt like he was a system. You can't. You have to understand those are limited minutes with Blake Griffin. Look, I don't want to go crazy into it because I'm like, it's getting later. It's Sunday. I can go forever, but
yeah, we can go ahead and wrap it up, man. I can talk all day, man, about this type of stuff, man. Because
me too, and I know that's what I'm saying. But I'm like, I know I gotta stop before I go too crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I gotta make sure because I'm like, I still gotta eat. But anyways, just want to say, man, I want to appreciate y'all. Everybody who came up in here, man. Make sure you hit the like button, comment, subscribe, notification gang. Zed, got anything to say to people before we get up out of here, man?
I just want to say, man, I know life's hard. Me, myself, you know what I'm saying? It'd be foggy at sometimes. Sometimes I be, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, you just got to enjoy every day that you can on this earth and try to plan as much as you can, but enjoy as much as you can at the same time because we're here to live, not to live, you know? So
whatever you plan, man, even if you can't actually get to the point where you can, enjoy what you plan, whatever's in between, cherish it, appreciate it. Do the best you can, just keep, pushing forward, you know what I'm saying? Make the most of every day. But we appreciate y'all as always, man. Black Wolves TV family. We out here for the night. We'll see y'all. You know what I'm saying? The goal is we're gonna be back tomorrow night. As always, love, blessings, salutations.